What's up, Internet? This is your boy Dragonfly Jones here with another installment of your new favorite show, Work From Home. Got some big guests this week, so let's get right to it. This is You Two Need to Meet.
I am extremely excited today because the guests we have here are two of the biggest personalities in their respective fields. We've got WWE superstar Kofi Kingston and Boston Celtics own Enes Kanter. How are we doing today, fellas?
What's up, man?
All good, man.
Enes, you've spoken about wanting to join the WWE after the NBA,
Yep.
so we want to talk about creating a persona for Enes. Kofi, what advice would you give Enes in regards to kind of, building his persona in this gimmick?
You know what? In short, just be entertaining. You have to have your finger on the pulse of pop culture. It's a real generic answer, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you got to just find whatever it is that you bring to the table and just be entertaining.
Okay, and Enes, have you put any thought into what you want your brand to be as far as in the ring?
I watch the big guys. Obviously, I'm not gonna be like Kofi, jump, do some crazy moves.
Right.
I'm too
Nor should you.
big and heavy. I'm too big and heavy for that. Celtics put that in my contract. No wrestling.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it was like we don't want you to get hurt.
And Kofi, how did you decide on your name?
I was on the way to wrestling practice and I was like, oh, maybe I can be Kofi from Jamaica. yeah, Kofi Kingston. You know what? That's promo day. I just broke out in a Jamaican accent, and then everybody in the class was like, whoa, they just got on their feet.
And then do you know what you would want yours to be?
I'm from Turkey, so a lot of people are saying like maybe Turkish delight, but I'm thinking as a bad guy, I'm like that's too soft. That's too soft and sweet. I'm like I'm good with the Turkish delight.
The Turkish delight sounds good to me.
So Enes, who are the wrestlers you looked up to?
My favorite was Undertaker. I mean, he's a legend. When he lost in a WrestleMania, man, I was heartbroken. Yeah, I was like about to cry. I'm like, how did this happen? I'm like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask you, like, when you were growing up watching WWE, who was some of your like idols or inspiration? Be like, man, when I grow up, I want to be like this guy.
Everyone always told me I was too small to be a WWE superstar. And then I'd be, like, oh, maybe I can't make it. I'm not 6'8", I'm not 300 pounds. But then I go on TV and I see Rey Mysterio. And in high school, I'm like, man, I think I'm bigger than this guy, but he's winning world championships. So it provided like a real sense of like actual motivation, And then Shawn Michaels, to me, greatest of all time,
WWE, they, in this COVID environment, they went under the bubble real quick. You guys have been, playing to, no crowds and then limited crowds. How was that just, performing in empty stadiums when the WWE kicked that off?
It was different. It was weird. It was bizarre. It was awkward. Really appreciate more like what the crowd actually means to the sport.
Ask anybody. We are all dying to go out there and play basketball. I mean, we'll take anything.
How have you been getting ready to, go down to Orlando and, hop in that bubble and get back on the court?
Quarantine life was tough. Yeah, I gained 19 pounds. 19
really?
pounds I gained. I mean, because like any kind of local gym, we couldn't use our practice facility. They said you cannot leave your house. I was literally trying to lift up suitcases full of clothes. Trying to lift up suitcases.
You were curling suitcases.
I promise you, it was tough. Now I'm trying to do my best, just to try to lose that quarantine weight.
Okay, last question, fellas. Vince McMahon and Adam Silver in a cage match. Who wins?
Oh God. I'm taking Vince, man. Adam Silver is too nice. Adam Silver is too nice. He's an amazing commissioner. But hey, I saw Vince fight before, so I'm taking Vince.
He's like what, 73 or something like that?
Mm.
You know what I mean? And he still looks like he's stacked, man. He's
yeah.
So if we're talking about a wrestling match or a fight, it's got to be Vince.
Yeah, I definitely think Vince would get that one too. I feel like Adam would try to, negotiate his way out of this. He's a guy who doesn't want conflict. And I feel like Vince would be out there in his tank top and his dress dress shoes, wanting all the smoke right there, man. So yeah, I'm definitely going with Vince there too. All right, well, fellas, Kofi, Enes, man, thank you so much for joining us on You Two Need to Meet today. Kofi, continued success. Enes, looking forward to you getting back out there.
Appreciate it, man.
Let me say real quick, Enes, if you would pass a word to Kemba Walker that we need to take a picture together, because a lot of people on Twitter and social media say that we look alike. Yeah. Oh, you look like Kemba Walker. I said, bro, we're different people, man. So we got to prove it to everybody and get, get that side by side.
I can see that now. Yeah.
Man.
Look alike. Yeah. I got you.
Definitely. What's up, y'all? It's time to log in for another segment of Play No Games. Today, I'll be playing 2K with a good friend of mine who's been out here spitting the realness to y'all for a minute now. You may know him from his work with The Source, The Stashed, or Bleacher Report. Currently, he's the host of Say Less with Kaz podcast on Brother. He's part of the Whistle family and a personal friend of mine. Give it up to my dog, my homie, Kaz.
Yeah, what's going on, people? What's going on?
Hop on this game.
Let's get it, bro. Let's get it. Yep.
So who you run with on here, Kaz?
I'm a roll with Toronto. I'm a roll with Toronto on this one.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I go big with the Bucks, bro.
Giannis is the biggest cheese in this game. It's not even fair, bro.
2K220, Giannis is an all-time video game player. Like he's up there with the 04 Vic, with the Tecmo Bobo Jackson. He is that ridiculous, dog.
Absolutely.
You know, Say Less kicked off, recently, man.
Yeah.
Your interview with LeVar Ball really took off, dog. How was it interviewing him, man? That dude is a character. I know that was a class.
The interview itself, man, like what he says, he believes that. It's not an act. That's him.
You're a big wrestling fan. Like I get big, heel manager energy from LeVar Ball. I get Paul Heyman energy from that dude. You know what I'm saying? Have you seen the similarities there too?
We didn't know any of these Ball brothers less than 3 years ago, and now they're household names. That is the mark of a fantastic heel manager. We have Paul Wall in the episode this week, who I'm a huge fan of.
Dude right there, man.
The conversation we had was really special because, Paul Wall's from Houston. And he's right in the middle of everything going on with
right with George Floyd.
He was Big Floyd to him. He didn't even know him as George. He was Big Floyd to Paul Wall. He has an especially specific point of view as far as like everything that he's seen, as far as being not just a rapper, but just a white man accepted by a black culture. I've always been a big fan of Paul Wall. I asked him about Kanye running for president. Man, like I remember how much we all believed in Kanye, like as black men, like
we believed the past tense in Kanye that way is because he was the people's champ.
But now I don't recognize him at all.
Regardless of who Kanye is now, we can't minimize his impact on the rap.
Of course,
game. Like
I don't think Drake gets as big as he is if it's not for Kanye.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely,
like Kanye,
no question.
Kanye made it real safe for a lot of people, and then Drake kind of kicked that door down as far as like melancholy soft guy raps.
For sure.
Like,
look at us running with the Bucks and the rappers having a dissection on Kanye's impact. Just go wherever with it right there. I dig it, man.
I'm trying to get this silent dub so you don't just give it to Giannis and have him destroy me. I'm like, maybe if I keep talking, you won't just have Giannis start to destroy me now. Now here he comes. February 21st was the last like real normal day for me. Because it was the same day as the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight.
I did a reflective moment where I was like, what was the last time I was out here? And that was the night back in February.
Yeah.
That fight was the last time I was really out here like that.
How quickly everything's changed. How things that I just really took for granted just don't even exist at all.
Yeah, it's wild.
Oh, you trying to Showtime me? You trying to Showtime me? Okay. This is what we doing? All right, watch this. Oh, yeah. Thinking about to walk home with this Dubbington.
Dog right there.
All of my favorite follows, like all-time favorite follows, bro. Like not even close. Y'all on the upper echelon content.
We've been Twitter homies for a minute, dog. Like 5-6 years out here. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't chop it up before. If you're hip to me, you're hip to my podcast. So give it a listen or two. And bringing it full circle, dog, that's like what Kanye told us back in 04 before before we lost him.
Before he got the T, the
right.
Place or whatever
before he went to the sunken place, man.
Thanks for having me on Work From Home. I definitely got to get you on Say Less one of these days.
We'll sure, man.
Even longer. But yeah, man, this is tight. This is super fun,
for sure. I knew we were the same type of dude when I saw that you had a gaming couch like me instead of a gaming seat, right? Like, this was Play No Games.
Welcome to Courtside Access. I'm Metta World Peace, and today I'm talking with none other than a professor, a quick dribble legend who first came on the scene with N1 and the N1 tour before becoming a certified internet legend. He's been tearing it up on the courts all over the world and putting unprepared opponents to shame. Professor, what's up, my man? How you living?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. So your career has been great. I mean, you're a baller. You were one of the first ones to really use that N1 platform to take it to the next level. And you're just as big as NBA players. You are a basketball professional. How did this all come about?
Playing on the N1 mixtape tour, I played from like 03 to 08. So about halfway through that run, I noticed I would see people on the street and they would say, "Oh, I love your video," thinking they're talking about the ESPN show showing the N1 tour. But they were like, nah. They were like, "I saw your footage on YouTube." The fan compilations that some people made, they'd rip my highlights from the ESPN show and they make like a 3-minute Professor highlight mix. Those had like millions of views, and this is like young YouTube. There wasn't even that many videos on there, you know what I mean? And then 2013, I had a viral video that literally took me from 15,000 subscribers to 600,000 in like 1 week. And it was the Spider-Man Basketball episode 1.
How was it playing with the mask? Like, was that like too hot sometimes, or?
Can't breathe, can't see. It was always really difficult. Like, nobody really knew that. Like, after 20 minutes, I'm about to pass out when I took that thing off. I was always excited to do it just because I knew the outcome was cool and the videos were really fun to make. But yeah, definitely a struggle to hooping.
And when did you decide to become a full-time influencer?
But basically, it got to a point where I was making more money on my YouTube channel than I was with that year-long contract. And it basically was like my off time was just dedicated to YouTube, and it would go do a game, and I just can't wait to get right back.
So you have like a lot of different type of videos. And what is your process of making videos, and how do you become aware or learn like your audience?
Good question. I think you learn the audience through trial and error. So it's really about the entertainment experience. Obviously, being a hooper, you always want to be competitive if there's any sort of game. But I think a lot of it really comes down to just like, how can we captivate their attention from start to end? And I only want to do it if I'm really having fun with them, you know?
Yeah.
It's hard to find that balance. Sometimes I've made videos and be like, they ain't gonna rock with this, but screw it, I like it, so I'm gonna do it anyway. You know what I mean? I tried to make a video that the culture was buzzing about, but it wasn't really true to me. You kind of have to go off what the audience wants, but you also can't do 100% what the audience wants. Then you're selling out. You don't even like it. And when N1 ended, I mean, it's on record. I went dirt broke. You know what I mean? There was one point where I was selling my jerseys on eBay. I sold my own jerseys just to stay afloat.
It's really interesting. If you look at all of the athletes that's gone broke, that's made tons of money, and I see how you do with your career. And I think it could be a real good lesson, not only for the street ball players, but also for other professional athletes.
Somebody told me, if you were trying to brand at your best, somebody should be able to dress up as you for Halloween. I had black friends, so like a Caesar cut seemed more natural to me than like combing my hair to the side or something. And then as I got older, I guess I changed it. I grew it a little bit longer and then got like a burst fade. And then I added designs because somebody told me to make it as unique as I could. And then today there's like mixed reviews. Some people hate it, some people love it, but whatever.
Man,
you're gonna recognize me for it.
Absolutely, man. So what was your best game that you ever could remember yourself playing?
Dang, my best game? Best games, it sounds weird, but I've always been a late bloomer, and I'm obviously in my mid-30s now, but I think 2 years ago was my best game. I had a game in Florida. It sounds weird, but it was like one of the first times I played in a game where I didn't share the spotlight with another street ball legend guard. Right. So I basically was like the point guard, just kept getting the ball over and over, and the video did really well online. I think it has like 20 million views.
Got to check that out.
I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I've always been a late bloomer, and a lot of times throughout my career, those ball up and N1 games, they're like an all-star game. So you're always really like, you're playing 10 to 15 minutes a game, and you're sharing the ball a lot.
So when did you start playing ball?
So officially in life, started playing ball when I was 2 years old.
Okay.
About 5th grade, my dad, he got me this skills trainer. I remember the first 3 moves he taught me. It was in and out crossover, and they taught me the Iverson crossover. And when I learned that Iverson crossover, that stamped me as like a little white kid with handles, because I literally was like 3 foot nothing, but I could cross grown men with that move.
Right.
Coming to play community college, I walked on the team. I only played like 3 minutes a game. But after that freshman year, I remember I got like 500% better. It was like fake, but I just, I was putting in 2-a-days. I started lifting weights. I was playing with a lot of guys who were going D1, and then I tried out for N1. So I knew like I ain't going to the league, but I knew that I had a gift that was very entertaining to watch, and it was of value in some sort of way, even though there didn't even seem to be an outlet at that moment.
I want to say, thank you very much.
Hey, humble, man, humble.
Thanks so much to the professor for being my guest today and giving us courtside access. I'm Metta World. Peace. We'll see you next time.
Irving is 9 of 9, a steal. Irving at the horn. You know them by now.
He is not human!
Untucked Kyrie.
Ariza.
Headband LeBron.
Oh my!
Game 6 Clay. Mouthpiece biting Steph. These are the NBA's most popular superheroes. All of these players are great to begin with, but the moment they morph into their alter egos is the moment they can single-handedly take over a game, series, championship, or change their legacy forever. It's not as simple as Clark Kent ripping off his suit and tie to reveal the S on his chest. The precedent is clear that these characters have to be revealed naturally, in the moment. So as we prepare for the league's return in the near or distant future, who can we look to as the next NB Avenger? The truth is, they've already arrived. Dazzling crowds with his laughable long-range shooting and stupefying defenders with his messy S-nutmegs, Ice Trae isn't just a Twitter hashtag anymore. He's here.
Got it. Here in the corner, Luka!
Then there's Happy Luka, always smiling, enjoying the game, and being perfectly innocent right as the camera finds him. But the more fun he has, the more impossible his patented step back is to guard. Can't forget Twitter Fingers Ja, who not only sees what's being said about him on social media at all times, but is the epitome of actions speaking louder than words.
This guy who tweeted and said, I don't have that fire in my eye no more. That game right there was for him.
Which leaves us the biggest unanswered question. What will Zion's name be? The guy's an absolute beast. His phenom potential almost feels obvious at this point, but he hasn't had the time on the floor to establish one of these unique identities for himself yet. If you take a moment to think about it, the entire league is defined by these characters, whether it's Dame Time, Joker's Wild, Cardiac Kemba. It almost feels like a rite of passage prerequisite for evolving from a good player to an all-star. In the end, it's just another thing that makes the league different from its counterparts. There always seems to be more than what meets the eye. This is an ode to the NBA's superheroes, past, present, and future.
All right, y'all, that's it for this episode of Work From Home. You know the routine. Give us some likes, give us some subscribes. If you got something you want to get off your chest, leave it in the comment sections. You know where to find me on Twitter. So until next time, this was Work From Home.